So I'd like to start by saying Gundagalu, that means welcome, brothers and sisters. I'd like to welcome you to this beautiful country that we're here today to talk about different things, what I've been through and what this painting's about as well. First, I'll explain the painting. The circle in the centre represents the Coolament, where women give birth to their babies, like up here in Burleigh Hills, up on the hills there. That's where they go and give birth to their children. The two goannas represents the journey. So it's on a journey to protect their children. The outro represents the water. Play the oldest living instrument in the world, the yodaki. Just welcome, thank you. So I thought of a topic of hope, and hope stands for hearing other people's experiences. I've had a lot of different journeys with my father from the age of 7. My father worked for Soul Brothers Circus. It was a lion tamer and a tent boxer. So you can just imagine that sort of an environment that I grew up with. My father was a white guy, my mother was an Aboriginal man. My mother was an Aboriginal, my father was a white guy. And we travelled from the age of 7. I remember being in Ballarat in Victoria, and I said to my mother, he's coming with me. My first night with my father was out on a road out beside some palm trees, and I remember we had to hitchhike from Ballarat to Adelaide, and my first night we stayed there and we slept out. And if anybody knows, Ballarat's a very cold place. And I said to myself as a little boy, when I'm a big boy, I'll drive my own car. And I really meant what I said. And then I went from that point, went to Adelaide to Whitmore Square. We were from Whitmore Square over to Sydney, to Redfern, Moscow Park in Brisbane. So I've seen every park in this country and slept in every park in this country before I was 16 years old. And then I went from that environment to a place in Victoria called Shepparton. And that's where I got introduced to my mother and a part of my culture then. And that's why I started to connect with my culture, my family there. And I've seen a lot of things there as well. So I monkey see, monkey do sort of thing. I've seen what was happening with my father. I've seen what was happening with my other side of my family. And I picked up the bottle at the age of 18. And then I was going into the nightclubs thinking I was Michael Jackson and thinking I was Muhammad Ali and all that sort of stuff. And then on the Sunday, I'd be walking up the streets with my friends, and the police would pull me up and say, hey, mate, we've come here. There's 3 of us. He's looking right at me. And I go, who, me? I go, here, you. So then I got into that environment. And then they said to me, you better leave Shepparton. So I did. I started a bit of my hair up there. And from Shepparton, I went down to Melbourne, but I brought myself with me. I thought it was all of those guys that was the problem. I didn't look at myself. And then I got to the stage 28, and I was brought to my knees. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. And something brought me to my knees on the 5th of August, 1993. And it was 30 years ago, just over 30 years ago. And I put that bottle down, and I picked up the paintbrush. And within 6 months after doing that, I'm in New York, in Times Square, doing an exhibition over there. And I'm thinking to myself, geez, how did all this happen? I'm over there in winter, and I had this big kangaroo jacket on with a fox skin collar, with the hat on, felt like I was one of those gangsters over there. And then next thing you know, I'm doing this exhibition. It was amazing experience. And then I heard Bono on TV say, I can't change the world, but I know the people that can. And then I had it in my business, in my thoughts and my spirit to meet this man. So I remember being in Melbourne. I'm walking up to this hotel. This is the Park Hyatt in Melbourne. As I'm walking in, this black car comes out. The window comes down. He looks at me and goes, are you looking for me? I go, here I am, actually. And I put the ditch through the window of his car. He looked at it, he got out of the car, and I said, well, I wanted to meet him for what he said. And he goes, what are you doing now? So I'm just come to give you this. And he goes, to the stadium to perform and stuff like that. So I went there and watched all of that sort of stuff. And then I had another experience with Stevie Wonder. I remember meeting up with him. I remember cuddling that man. It was the same feeling as cuddling my father. And I loved I loved the ground that my father walked on, just the experiences that we had together. So I held him for a little bit and I didn't want to let go of him. But he whispered in my ear, he goes, "May God stay with you, brother." And there's a very special moment for that and all the other people that I've met. We're all artists in different ways. People sing, people tell stories, people do performances, and I've done that sort of stuff. Because I remember watching TV. I've never been to school. I've only done 3 weeks of schooling. So I still don't read or write, but I've got a book. I'm an author of a book, so I've got a ghostwriter to do that. So that happens. That's how a book's coming up. But I remember just being in that environment with people like that and just being able to share my story to people like that and just see where it goes from there. But the biggest thing I'd like to put across to people now, the people that are listening here and all over the world, is how important is it and how we should all come together with hope. Because a lot of people go through different traumas and different experiences of life. And I never like to point the finger at anybody, because if I do, I know there's 3 pointing back at me and this one at the Creator. And I know that it was the Creator that took that away from me when I was 28 years old. And from that time till now, lots of things have happened. I had a wife at the time, because the disease I've had with alcoholism, my family was affected from that sort of stuff. And my wife committed suicide, six years of me being sober. Then my son goes into the bathroom, says his mother hanging in the bathroom. And then he gets onto the ice, and then I'm trying to control that as well. And all this other stuff. So then I keep handing it back to the Creator, and knowing that if I'm spiritually connected to something like that out there, who could be against me? As long as I can stand in places, the moments like this, and be in this day, not into yesterday or into the past. Just say the past causes depression and the future causes anxiety. Why wouldn't I want to be just standing right here now to tell my story? So at least, hopefully, that one person gets something from what I'm saying. That's all this is about for me today. And that's what my journey is. Because whatever that was placed me there to be here today. I couldn't even imagine standing on stage talking like this, or being on stage with Eddie Van Halen in front of 50,000 people, or whatever I've done in my journey, until I put that bottle down. If I had the disease of alcoholism, and I've still got it today, and that's why I keep going back to help others. If they say you've got to give this thing away to keep it, and that's by sharing your experience, strength, and hope with other people. And that's whether it's places like this, or whether it's at conventions where I've done them anywhere in the world. I've done this. I remember used to be sitting on the riverbank watching planes flying across, thinking, geez, one day I wouldn't mind being on one of them, and now I do those things. There was another incident with me and my brother, was about 14, was down in St Kilda at the Esplanade, was starving, we're collecting mussels off the pier, and there was an apartment over the other side of this place where the pier was. And I said to my brother, one day, don't worry, we'll live in that one day. And 40 years later, I bought that same place. I bought off Stan Yarramunua, if anybody knows him. So I stayed there for 6 months and all left. But I just wanted to go there and do it. So what I'm saying, I've got to watch what I wish for. This I will get it. So I always want to wish the best for everybody. And that's what keeps me going on the daily basis. I look at the sun with my culture. You've got the sun and you've got the moon. So they're the eyes of the Creator. And at night time, I thank God for whatever it was that I've done through the day. And through the day, I say, please use me today to help others. And that's where my journey is today. And I'd like us all to have a really good day here today. And I bless you all. And, the best is yet to come if we come together as one. So thank you.